LeBron wants to run in the NBA with both of his sons, which is a bold goal, and if they agree and the gods of basketball give him that gift, who cares what other people think? In this video, we will learn in detail LeBron James's response and views about people opposing the idea of him playing with his sons. So, make sure you stick with me to the end. Now, without any further delay, let's get into the video. Starting with LeBron James and his plans to play with his sons. From a biological point of view, a teenager's brain is like a train wreck. First of all, it doesn't have much myelin, which is the coating that lets different parts of the brain talk to each other. The prefrontal cortex, on the other hand, is growing at a very fast rate. This means that things a child used to take for granted, like the idea that their parents know what they're talking about, are suddenly up for debate. So, a teen is not only programmed to act on what seems like every impulse, but also to move away from their parents. This is normal and healthy, but that doesn't make it any easier for a parent, even a very successful and wealthy one like LeBron James. I bring this up because James now has 2 teenage sons, and as all parents know, this is a time when a lot can change. He said, "Hell yeah, it's bittersweet to watch your kids grow up and become their own people." James is moving on to the next stage of his career and life at the same time that his oldest son is getting ready to start his own journey as an adult. This is traditionally where the parent and child part ways, with the parent leaving the spotlight as the child steps into it. But James is thinking about something else. He wants to stay in the NBA long enough to play against Bronny, who is about to start his senior year of high school. If they do it, they will be the first father-son team to play together in an NBA game. They will also be only the 4th father-son team in any of the 4 major US men's sports, after Gordy played with Mark and Marty Howe in the NHL, and both Ken Griffey and Tim Raines played with their sons in MLB. When James first talked about the plan in February, he told The Athletic that his last year will be played with his son, and that at that point, it's not about money. The NBA world immediately started trying to figure out what that meant. How did LeBron feel about this? For the Los Angeles Lakers, to keep the league fair? This plan is based on a number of assumptions, such as the fact that Bronny, a 6'2" combo guard who is usually ranked in the top 50 of his class, will be good enough to make it to the NBA, and that he wants to play basketball for a living, which has been assumed but not said. Then there are bigger questions, like how do you feel about a father setting such high expectations for his son in public? And what if Bronny doesn't make the league after all this hype? Or what if he does, but his father has a lot to do with it? Does that make this a feel-good story about a supportive dad who helps his son reach his dreams? Or a case of a famous person helping his own family? Anyway, a lot of people gave their opinions from different points of view. People first heard of Bronny when he was in 4th grade and playing on his AAU team. He moved quickly around the court, threw up 3-pointers, and kinda looked like a smaller version of his father. By the time he was 11, Kentucky and Duke had offered him scholarships. This made LeBron mad because, what the hell, the kid's only 11. LeBron liked the rest of it though. He led a team, he applauded, he played with the boys in layup lines and slammed home dunks while they shot underhand runners. When Bronny was 14, he made one of his first dunks during a game. Dad was so proud that he jumped up from his baseline seat and flexed all over the court. After his team's alley-oop, James ran onto the floor so quickly to do a celebratory hip bump that he lost one of his shoes. At the time, he was called an over-the-top sports dad gone crazy by some critics. One headline said, "LeBron James went nuts." Others, on the other hand, saw goofy fatherly joy in a man who has never known his own father. LeBron took his last name from his mother, Gloria. No matter what, people kept paying attention. Brooke Cups, whose son Gabe played with Bronny on the AAU's Blue Chips in 5th grade, says it was like the Beatles. When Bronny joined Instagram in 2019, he got 1 million followers in less than 48 hours. Even though he didn't do much besides being Bronny, he now has 6.4 million, even though he's only posted 17 times. If he decides to go to college, his endorsement deals under the new NIL laws will probably break records. Experts say that he is worth more than $6 million a year. For LeBron James's boys, it's a chance to hang out with their teammates, show off their skills on the court, and especially for Bronny, raise his profile. But for LeBron, things are more difficult. You can never know what another parent is going through, all the things that can affect something. Each situation is different, but most people see this on a small scale, that James is wrong. Even more than most celebrities, he and Savannah have to raise their child in front of the whole world. Because really, how many other people are as well known around the world as LeBron? A dozen? Maybe fewer? So far, the James family has taken a unique approach that is both very open and very private. LeBron posts videos of his family on Instagram, including Taco Tuesdays, dad and sons playing basketball in the driveway, dance parties, and birthdays. He sends out tweets about the best things the boys have done. In 2019, Bronny and his Sierra Canyon teammates began being filmed for an Amazon documentary series called Top Class. Even that choice of schools meant that people would know about them. Sierra Canyon has an annual media day, appears on ESPN, and goes on exhibition tours around the world. Bronny has been in front of a camera for most of his life. We know LeBron's dream as a parent, and I have to say, as a dad, it sounds pretty cool, but it comes with a lot of very high expectations. How can Bronny meet a standard that is unique by its very nature? To beat his father, who would have to be the best person ever. And what about the people who say that his comments about playing with Bronny put too much pressure on his son? LeBron leans forward in a lively way. He said he couldn't care less what anyone says, and that their journey and quest are not based on what everyone said. You'll have 5 people out of 10 who love you. Then out of 10, 5 people will hate you. That's just how things work here. Regardless of what you do, you can be a guy who works at Starbucks, and 4 or 5 customers will come in and hate the way that you made the chai tea latte. It's how things work, and the sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be, because you won't respond or give that too much energy. Don't give it any energy is a phrase LeBron says often. In other news, what happened to Ime Udoka? Why is the Boston Celtics coach facing a lengthy suspension? The NBA offseason received a jolt in the last American hours of Wednesday, September 21st. Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN, reported that Boston Celtics coach Ime Udoka was facing a possible significant suspension from the franchise itself for an unspecified violation of Celtics guidelines. According to what was revealed a few hours later by the journalist Shams Charania, Udoka incurred an intimate and consensual relationship with a staff member, something that was considered inappropriate in the franchise and was marked as a violation of the internal code of conduct. Let's talk about what Ime Udoka had to say about his suspension. The coach issued a statement almost simultaneously with the Celtics sanction. In the statement, he said, "I want to apologize to our players, fans, the entire Celtics organization, and my family for letting them down. I'm sorry I put the team in this difficult situation, and I accept the team's decision. Out of respect for everyone involved, I will do no more." So, who will be Ime Udoka's replacement on the Boston Celtics? Regardless of the length of Udoka's punishment for this violation of the franchise's internal regulations, everything indicates that a replacement must be found for him, and the person in charge of assuming that responsibility after the departure of main assistant Will Hardy, he became the coach of the Utah Jazz, is expected to be Joe Mazzulla, someone who was also a candidate to move to Salt Lake City. At 34 years old, Mazzulla has been with the Boston Celtics since 2019, after training at different NCAA Division II universities. So, that concludes today's video. If you found the video helpful, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.